caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hanging and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy, but later I'm counting the guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up. The big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get it fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a popo. Don't do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. Finna got in that gently. Ain't being friends with these. When I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how it go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do my own. Not gonna lost on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my ring. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you. Rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap, got a big band, it's like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with it, no, it's time.
I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get funky with to groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Tryna get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a dub for a verse. I do it for FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
No introduction really necessary. Get to messing like a secretary, boy, I'm legendary. When I'm dead and buried, still be kicking flavor in the cemetery. Trap music originator, fresh off of my hiatus. Yelling you to all my haters, they skywalk, I'm Darth Vader. Promise I don't give a about them, let them out 20 tell them they don't need nothing. Yup, like in the Kango enter. New Cadillac with an all-go hammer. Long as I remember how to Atlanta, I can give a about a dog. Used to getting things from a text, so I count setting numbers in the hood. Do what I say, do. Tell break bread, a fake dead, a bit to hate that. 50 million, you died to make that middle. You vote for Trump, you see me outside, well, you know what's up. I ain't hearing no peace talk, ain't funny, no hee-haw. Like a Black Panther weak to the teeth, try me weak. Swear to God, I could have been Freddie Gray. Or Mike Brown getting down with a homie and a half a. Let me buy Sandra Bland. Listen, boy, you're challenging with the running man. I would challenge with a hand. What you see before you, what they told you from nothing, man. Gray and hustle over everything. And hit the king like an 18-wheeler in and out of air lane. Never been a part of the in crowd. Got a problem with me, I said, y'all got the same friend that I came in with, ducking all that lane. Hey, everyone knows on go. I rolled in the 4x4. Believe if I kept gon' go see me with ain't gon' see them no more. They love when I talk, they roll by the car lot when bought it. Caught case at the case and a phone. They will watch you give a I live today rapping back, caring them back what they capping back. They ain't roll mama, we know it did. We cashing out, we bagging that. Stacking up, there's zero. Certified neighborhood hero. You can try one of them, better not try with me though. Hey.
Bring it in. Roll it down by 2. We're gonna go out here, run this play for the win. Let's go get it. Odd formation, 28 sweeps, blue 14. Watch left. Hut.
We to the man, Atlanta hat caught to the left, turn to the back. Try to see we weren't having that. Sit with your ad, drop it out with Alabama ad. That would get for trying to battle rap. Head, be one and done. No drive, but we running. Walk up to you while you showing us stun till you up that jewelry, that money. Playing game, thinking showing up funny till my young win for me. Yeah, for the love of the bank.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now on first down. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 49-yard line. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On play action, now Carr. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Into the red zone, it's Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Throwing on first is Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back, but it's still a 3rd and 8. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun now for Wentz. Now he's going to send this one deep. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big gain of 39 on third.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now Ballage. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Finding room to the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. To throw, it's Wentz. Parker's got it. Touchdown, Kansas City. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now. Trot back out, and for them a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The drive starts with a run by Collins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Now Carr throwing on second down. He's going to wind up in air. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Brandon Cooks, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And he's got some space here. And now running right through it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And down to the 36-yard line here. He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Carr. And Cooks hands it over the middle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
DeAndre Washington, his first carry. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Complete to Bryant. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Carr. And he's got Will Tye complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. First target, first catch, and a first down. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Throwing now is Carr. They shakes him off. No gain, and it's 2nd down. Play action. Now it's Carr. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
7:34. Down. 180. Low.
From the gun, it's Carr. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Collins now the lone man in the backfield, 2nd and goal. To throw his Carr. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd and short. They come up in an offset eye. Carr going to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Shorty. Wrap.
Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Hang in there now. This 5-2. Lynn. Great. What's up?
They run it with Balaj. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Taken in at the 11. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now a play fake. Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And now here comes Kansas City. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Finding room at the 30. There he goes, left side. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Kalen Ballage, 82 yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Here comes Nelson. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Carr now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. On play action, it's Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. And he comes back with one complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
Down, 180. 618.
Again, it's Carr. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
808. 24.
Carr now on 1st down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen. And
he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
618. 6-18.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to look deep down the field. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. On first down, Wentz. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wentz now on first down. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. No problem there on the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Here comes Nelson. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run here with Balaj. And he's got room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the backside? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Christian Kirksey coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Balaj. And not much running room. Down to the 32. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Working from the gun, Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Rashawn Melvin. And the return will stop right around the 25. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Carr now to throw. He gets it to Cooks. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On 1st down, Carr. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Chris Jones in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Chiefs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Now a play fake. Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Justin Houston in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. On 2nd down, here's Carr. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr. And that is incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now, bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now Wentz, buying time to his left. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving Day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Again, it's Balaj. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Chiefs on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, other side, solid. At least 5-7.
On play action, it's Wentz. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Mario Edwards in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Hey, we're good.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
On 2nd down, Collins. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And this one is incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here now, Johnny Townsend as he's on to punt for Oakland. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Looking deep for Gabriel. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
The Chiefs on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Going deep here. Got his man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. Big hit.
Black, come on.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Oh, no, he lost the football. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They go with Washington to begin the drive. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Malik Jackson there to make the stop. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
694. Go. Get set. Go. Get set.
Shotgun now for Carr. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Daniel Sorensen there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. They'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And now here comes Kansas City. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down. He's back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Run.
He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Back to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. That's going to be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Very much in range for a tying field goal as they hurry to the line. He's been quiet all afternoon. He may have just come up with a play of the day right there, though.
Obviously, it's not the volume in which you get done. It's the quality, and that was a quality catch right there.
And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
82.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Here's another 2nd and goal, this time from half the distance closer.
Let's find 7. What's up?
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the chief linemen might have moved. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And this one is right through. And that's going to tie the ball game at 27-all. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. On the NFL scoreboard there in the fourth quarter in Philadelphia. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. They'll start with a give here to Balaj. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. First throw of overtime for Wentz. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And on the ground they go with a running back. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Well, they only need about a half a foot. It's overtime, but they're back in their own territory.
And you know those decision makers that are battling inside the head coach's mind right now? One saying, hey, offense is pretty good. Other one saying, no, rely on your defense. That's what you've got to decide in this situation. Where do you have the confidence? That determines what you're going to do.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
They'll run forward with a fullback, Sherman. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Wentz now on first down. Flushed out right. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that goes for a gain of 31. Well, in overtime, I think Coach is always wondering, where's that magic line for my kicker? They're already in field goal range after that big play.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that magic line can change throughout the game. It's constantly being updated by teams. It starts with pregame. Okay, how do you feel? As the game goes on, they might ask him again, still feel that same number? Is it a different number? Right hash, left hash, what do you need? And that goes into the play calling in OT.
Hang in there now.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a...
What's your son?
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. And the kick by Butker is good. And they have regained the lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. First throw of overtime for Carr. Going for the deep ball. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Justin Houston getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And now the timeout comes in with just 1 second left in overtime. And here's your ball game. Down 3 in overtime, but they're going for this thing on 4th down. The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. He sets to fire deep. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for Kansas City, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll have another home date next.